This example says find the vertical, horizontal, and oblique asymptotes, if any, for the given rational function. And our function is r of x equals 15x squared plus 29x minus 14 over 3x plus 7. Up here at the top, I've given some instructions for locating vertical asymptotes. So if we have our rational function, p of x and q of x have no common factors. So that's our first thing. We have to make sure that our function is in lowest terms. A 0 of q of x is going to be a vertical asymptote of the graph. So we have to make sure we have no common factors, and then we'll be able to find our vertical asymptote. So for our example, I want to try to factor the numerator first to see if there are any common factors. So that numerator might factor. So I'm going to try 5x and 3x, and maybe a 7 and a 2. That would give me 35 and 6. And I do think that that's going to factor. We need a positive 35 and a negative 6. And so we have this common factor of 3x plus 7, which gives me 5x minus 2. So since I canceled out all of the denominators, I don't have any variables in the denominator, and there will be no vertical asymptote. And since that denominator canceled out, I also don't have any horizontal asymptote or oblique asymptote. I do have another interesting feature in this graph, though. Because that common factor of 3x plus 7 canceled out, we have a hole in the graph at the point. Let's see where it is. We're going to take that factor that canceled out and set it equal to 0, and we're going to be able to find where that hole in the graph is. So I set that factor equal to 0. I'm subtracting 7 on both sides, and then dividing by 3. That's going to give me x equals negative 7/3. And if I substitute this value into the simplified rational function, that's going to become 5 times negative 7/3 minus 2. That's negative 35 over 3 minus 2. I'm going to get a common denominator, negative 35 over 3 minus, let's see, I'm going to make that a 2 over 1, multiply by 3 over 3 since that's the common denominator. So that would be 6 over 3. And I have a common denominator. I can combine the numerators. Negative 35 minus 6 would be negative 41. And so I would have a hole in the graph at the point negative 7/3 and negative 41 over 3. So this particular graph is pretty easy to draw. Because our simplified rational function is 5x minus 2, that's a straight line, has a y-intercept of negative 2, a slope of 5, so I'm going to rise 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run 1. And I'm going to draw, I'm going to use my ruler, I'm going to draw a straight line. But that hole in the graph is going to occur at negative 7/3, which is negative 2 1/3, or negative 2 1/3 would be about here. So let me kind of continue that line a little bit further. So at that point, -2 1/3, so it's going to be about right here, we get a hole or a gap in the graph. So our rational function (15x² plus 29x minus 14 over 3x plus 7) is the same as the straight line, except it's missing that single point of -7/3 and -41/3. It has no vertical asymptotes, no horizontal asymptotes, no oblique asymptotes, because that denominator canceled out. Thank you for checking out my videos. Have a great day.